Have you ever felt like you're wired differently? Like your mind operates on a frequency that no one else can tune into? You're not broken, you're not weird, and you're definitely not alone. Today, we uncovering 10 psychological signs that your intelligence might actually be isolating you from the world around you. Stick with me until the end, because number 10 will explain why even surrounded by people you love, you sometimes feel like you're watching life from behind glass. Let's dive in. Sign number 1. You can be surrounded by friends, family, and laughter, and still feel slightly detached. It's as if you're watching it all from behind glass. That's not arrogance or coldness. That's the silent burden of awareness. When you see life from so many angles at once, it's incredibly hard to fully belong to just one. You understand too much, how fragile relationships are, how time is slipping, how most people cling to comforting illusions just to stay sane. Smart people often carry this invisible distance, a quiet observer energy. They can adapt to any crowd, but they never truly dissolve into it. Psychologists call this metacognition fatigue, the exhaustion of constantly watching yourself think. You might smile and play along, but deep down you're analyzing the moment. Its irony, its impermanence, its hidden dynamics. You're both participant and narrator. And that duality, that constant self-awareness, can make even joy feel slightly secondhand. But here's the truth most people never tell you. Being different doesn't mean being disconnected. Many great minds from Kafka to Da Vinci walk that same lonely edge. It's not exile, it's perspective. You're not standing outside life. You're seeing all of it. So next time you feel like an alien in your own world, remember that solitude isn't punishment for intelligence. It's where deep thinkers recharge. The goal was never to fit in. It's to find those rare people who make your mind feel at home. Sign number 2. Most people chase happiness. You analyze it. You ask yourself, what even is happiness? And then you accidentally ruin it by dissecting it like a biology project. Highly intelligent people often experience what psychologists call existential dissatisfaction, a deep sense that life's pleasures are fleeting or trivial. When your mind constantly zooms out to the cosmic level, everyday joy starts to feel small. You might enjoy success for 5 minutes before wondering what's next, or lie awake at night asking why humans even care about meaning at all. That's not depression. That's awareness turned inward. It's called the intelligence paradox. The smarter you are, the harder it is to stay happy. Because understanding how fragile and temporary everything is makes it difficult to feel grounded. But here's the hopeful part. Meaning doesn't have to come from the universe. It can come from creation. Smart people often find joy not in consuming, but in building. Ideas, stories, solutions, worlds. When your brain feels too big for this world, make worlds of your own. Sign number 3. You laugh at things you probably shouldn't. Not because you're cruel, but because your mind processes absurdity faster than your emotions can filter it. Psychological studies from the University of Vienna found that people with higher IQs tend to enjoy dark humor, jokes about death, tragedy, and irony. Why? Because understanding dark humor requires holding multiple conflicting realities at once. It's mental gymnastics with emotional detachment. While most people react with discomfort, your brain goes, "Ah, that's twisted, but clever." You recognize the absurd contradictions of life. How suffering and comedy often overlap. How tragedy exposes truth in ways comfort never could. The downside. Others might think you're insensitive. They don't realize your laughter isn't mockery. It's existential recognition. You're not laughing at pain, you're laughing through it. That ability to find wit in darkness has been the secret survival tool of geniuses and artists throughout history. Robin Williams, George Carlin, even Stephen Hawking were all masters of turning pain into punchlines. So if your humor sometimes disturbs people, remember it's not broken empathy. It's the rare ability to smile in the void. Sign number 4. You can do it. whether weekend plans, office gossip. But every word feels like sandpaper on your soul. Smart people often find small talk meaningless because their minds crave substance. They want to discuss the universe, the subconscious, the future of civilization. Not how Karen's cat won another Instagram contest. This isn't arrogance, it's hunger. Your curiosity burns too deep for shallow waters. Yet, in a world built on surface-level chatter, that hunger can make you seem antisocial or way too intense. In reality, you just want connection that feels real. The kind where time disappears, ideas collide, and you both walk away slightly changed. But here's the paradox. Small talk is actually the bridge to deep talk. It's the calibration phase, the human handshake before the mind dive. Learning to tolerate it doesn't make you less authentic. It gives you access to more worlds, more minds, more possibilities. So maybe it's not about faking interest in the weather. It's about seeing it as an invitation, because sometimes the person making that small talk might just be another deep thinker testing the waters too. Sign number 5. You don't just see things, you connect them. Random coincidences form constellations in your mind. A song lyric, a stranger's gesture, a repeated number. To most people, it's nothing. To you, it's part of a larger, invisible pattern. This isn't superstition. It's a side effect of pattern recognition bias, a cognitive trait strongly linked with higher intelligence and creativity. Your brain is constantly searching for structure in chaos. That's what makes you exceptional at solving problems, but it also makes you prone to overthinking them. You spot subtle cues others miss, a friend's hidden sadness behind their smile, the real motive behind a compliment, flaws in systems that no one else even questions. But this same ability can make you restless. The world feels full of invisible riddles demanding to be solved. And when people dismiss you with your overanalyzing, they don't realize that this is simply how you experience reality. You see too much, you connect too fast. It's not a choice. It's your natural lens. Throughout history, pattern obsession has driven both genius and madness. Newton saw invisible forces in falling apples. Tesla saw blueprints in lightning storms. The key difference between brilliance and breakdown: knowing when to stop decoding the noise. Sign number 6. You start explaining an idea and your eyes light up. Your mind races ahead, connecting dots and seeing possibilities. And then you realize no one's following you. That awkward silence hits, and you feel it. It's not because you're weird. It's because your brain moves too fast for most conversations. This is called asynchronous communication, where your thought speed and other people's processing speed simply don't match. You skip steps that they need. To you, the conclusion feels obvious. To them, it feels like you just teleported. Over time, this gap makes socializing exhausting. You either oversimplify yourself to fit in, or you stay silent to avoid the frustration. And both options feel equally painful. Albert Camus once wrote that intelligence isolates, and he wasn't exaggerating. The smarter you are, the lonelier your world can become. Not because you don't want connection, but because deep connection requires equal mental bandwidth. Still, this isolation isn't permanent. Some of the best friendships and relationships don't form from shared intellect. They form from shared curiosity. People who might not think exactly like you, but who are willing to think with you. And that makes all the difference. Sign number 7. You walk into a room and instantly feel the tension before anyone says a word. Someone's smiling, but you can tell it's not real. That's not paranoia. That's emotional intelligence turned up to 11. Their stress becomes your stress. Their discomfort becomes your discomfort. And while most people can laugh things off and move on, you linger on the deeper implications. Why did they say that? What were they really feeling? What's going on beneath the surface? This level of over-empathy can actually make you appear distant or emotionally cold, when in truth, you're just overwhelmed. Ironically, intelligence doesn't always make you more socially adept. It just makes you painfully aware of all the unspoken complexities swirling around every interaction. You see the invisible strings connecting people, the hidden motives, the unspoken fears. And sometimes you genuinely wish you couldn't. Sign number 8. If your mind is a courtroom, then you're both the prosecutor and the defense attorney, and the trial never ends. And that's why so many intelligent people mistake chaos for creativity. They convince themselves they work better under pressure when the truth is their brain is actually addicted to the rush of problem solving. Routine feels like slow death. But here's something important to remember. Boredom isn't always the enemy. It's often the quiet space where real creativity takes root. The question is, can you sit with that discomfort long enough to let the next big idea form, or will you keep running toward the next shiny thing? Sign number 10. Picture this. You're in a group chat and someone drops a fun fact. Everyone reacts with fire emojis and thumbs up. But you open a new tab and Google it. That's not you being difficult or trying to show off. That's the curse of a mind that refuses to take anything at face value. Studies show that overanalyzing everything actually reduces social bonding. While your brain is busy dissecting the layers beneath someone's words, everyone else is simply connecting on the surface. So when people tell you that you think too much, what they're really saying is you're noticing things I'm choosing to ignore. Being smart often feels lonely, not because you dislike people, but because you see too many layers beneath their words, and most of the time, you wish you could just turn it off. So which sign resonated with you the most? Drop a number in the comments. If you related to more than 5, hit that like button. And if this video made you feel a little less alone in your own head, subscribe, because we're building a community of thinkers right here. See you in the next one.